Hello, fellow married people. This is Joyce Bakare, your relationship watchman, and my husband, Pastor JT Bakare. And so today, we want to talk about love. The sweetest Valentine is the one you do with your spouse, not the one you are hoping to be. You don't even know whether when you invest, the thing will come out. You're already married. There's a ring on the finger. And so we want to talk about what to do to fan the flame of love in your home. Never ever assume that the flame of your love will always be hot if you refuse to be intentional about it.
Yeah, I had those assumptions.
Yeah, so I wrote something recently on my Instagram. You can check me out, Joyce Bakare, and you can check him out. Just type JT Bakare. I wrote something on my Instagram in particular, and I said that it's not only salvation. Now we're talking to Christian couples. It's not only salvation that requires working. Even your home, your love life as a couple requires work. In fact, everything that is vital, everything that is valuable requires work, requires intentionality. And so when it comes to your home, when it comes to your spouse, you would have to be intentional about it.
Yeah.
Every now and then there may be things that are that seem to be struggling for your attention. For the man, the need to keep the home running, provide. For the woman, the need to manage the home, the need to take care of the children, take care of her husband, take care of her business, her career. There are a lot of things that can throw you in many directions. But every now and then, it's important we pay attention to the need for us to keep the fire of our love. It will not always be hot. That's just the truth of the matter. For example, you can talk about married people who just had children. A woman dealing with the stress of a newborn, even the man dealing with the stress of a newborn, can look like it's affecting the fire of your love. And so at every given point, you need to do a check on what your love life is looking like. Are you beginning to feel stressed? Are you just beginning to just get by, just provide it and get going? No, you would need to be intentional about keeping the fire of your love going. PJ, do you want to talk to us more about it?
Yeah, I think it's true. I think that there are many assumptions. For example, I made assumptions that, once I've said the covenant vows, all the butterflies I had in my tummy that day, I'll just keep having it, without doing anything to it. But the more I traveled in the love relationship, the more I learned that love is like a fire.
It's a fire.
It needs to be tended. It needs wood, like a fire. It needs air. It must breathe like a fire. That's why you have to be careful who you let into your home, who you let into your space, because some people are extinguishers, some people are ventilators. It needs air. It needs wood. It needs to be tended. It needs fuel. And so I just recently started to discover that I needed to be more intentional.
Yeah.
Now, the covenant of love hadn't changed, but I discovered that the feeling of love was changing based on the conditions that we were in. Sometimes financial pressure, sometimes
ministry pressure,
children pressure. And you see, all the things we've called are good things. But it starts to look like even good things can be the reason why your love, the fire of your love, the love is fine, but the fire of your love is under attack. Imagine, ministry is supposed to be a good thing. We pray for ministry. Children, we pray for children. So it's like we asked God to give us a lot of things that if we're not careful, can even impact negatively or compete with the feeling of love, except that we are also doing things to ensure that our love stands the test of time and the feeling of love stands the test of time. So I think this is a powerful conversation.
Yes, and so let's just go practical. What are some of the things we can do as married people to keep this love going? Permit me to share one of our conversations. We're chatting. My husband was at work, or he traveled I think he traveled, and then we're chatting, and somewhere along the line he just called me baby on the chat, and I immediately told him, like, oh, this feels so different. Not because he hasn't called me baby in the past, but it just felt new because children had come, ministry had advanced, a lot of things, and FL was just like the fastest thing to say FL, or in our parents' days, you start calling yourself daddy, mommy. All of those things are not bad. See, when you are single, you make all demand. I know me, when we marry, we will not call get into the marriage first. And so, when he called that name, it just created a spark, and we started cracking jokes around it. And that's one of the keys to keeping your love life blossoming and in fire. Crack God. Jokes.
Thank God.
Play.
The one I thought she was going to tell you guys was when I traveled and sent her money and said she should buy a lingerie. I'm so grateful that's not the one she told you.
No, you.
What? Because I was scared. Yeah,
because it almost felt like the last ones I got had outgrown them. Pregnancy had happened, breastfeeding had happened, and all of those things had happened. I didn't even know where I threw those things. So when he mentioned it, I'm like, consider it done. Like, done. And so, what was I saying?
Yeah.
You need to crack jokes. I know the men in the room will be saying, yes, but we also have our own. We have this one to tell you.
Yeah.
So you need to crack jokes, be friends, speak to yourselves freely. And, don't, when you're speaking to your spouse, don't guilt trip them. Don't guilt trip them. When you're trying to keep the flame of your love going, you must admit that it's a collective thing. Don't point fingers. Because the moment you begin to point fingers, you just weaken your spouse. Just tell them, I noticed this.
Identify your stressor without stressing your partner.
Woo!
Yeah.
Say it one more time.
Identify the stressors in the relationship without stressing your partner.
I know, so it's important to have that conversation every now and then. I tell you, you need to have that conversation. Yeah, babe.
Because the stressors change.
They do. You need to ask yourself, I noticed that we've not even gone out in a long while.
Yeah.
And let me tell you guys a trick. Money is good, but money is not everything. There are people who have money and do not have the fire in their love.
Man, on Val's Day, that's a very controversial thing to say. On Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Because right now, love is all about money.
Siba, if you really know women, it's not everything is not the real women, everything is not about money. Trust me. Sometimes just taking a stroll with your spouse to take fresh air, that burst of fresh air, holding your hands together. You don't ask white people. Then she'll now
come back home and open her Instagram and see that her neighbor bought a car for his wife. And she's wondering, what happened? Why were we strolling through the evening?
You have the ears of your wife.
Oh yeah,
you have the ears of your wife.
I do. Always do.
A woman just wants safety, and if you give her that safety, give her that reassurance, she's good to go.
There's more safety in an SUV than strolling on the road. I don't know if I can trust this thing you guys are saying, ladies, but. Guys, type it on the line. Type it. Put it in the comment section. I don't know. There's too much pressure today.
I'm here representing and speaking on behalf of.
But we're getting too much pressure.
Association.
I don't even know if we can check Instagram.
Don't mind all those
Valentine's Day. I don't know.
We know you got us.
Yeah.
So guys, we're just trying to see. We're already joking here. We're just trying to say that this thing is not hard. Don't overcomplicate love. Don't make love too hard. Don't make it too. Just. See, the best, sweetest way to love is to be childlike again. Sometimes just tell yourself as a man, it's time to be a boy again. It doesn't matter how grown you are, there's still a boy on your inside, in your inside. For the woman, it doesn't matter how grown you are, there's still a girl on your inside. So to keep the spark of your marriage and of your love,
you have to be a boy and a girl again.
Be a boy and a girl again. What did we do as boys? What did we do as girls? They were cheap things. We played with sand, we played with balls, we played with covers of bottles. We played with rubber bands. Okay, I think I'm citing Nigerian examples.
In fact, what's the real difference between the love we have now and the love we had when we started? It's that when we started, we were boy and girl. So if we want that same spark, we have to be boy and girl again.
Yeah. Play with flowers. White people, they buy cards, simple card, script on it. Even if you don't have money to buy, send your spouse a chat. Send them a message. Call them impromptu.
Sticky notes. Play sticky notes everywhere in the house. And write different things.
Yes. And what you can do
to
keep the spark going. I think we just need to.
Yeah. I think we need to do, guys, let's work hard this season. Let this just not be the season of gifts and binds and spending. Let it be the season of intentionally. And with intentionality, finding what works for your spouse and doing it. There's a spouse out there, and it may be your spouse who's just looking for somebody to stand with her while she's washing plates, and it's going to make her Valentine. There's a spouse out there, it may be your spouse, he's just looking for somebody to ask him about how the last contract went and just get the details. He just wants you to watch a football match with him. I mean, we need to find, until we find the zero cost, the zero, what do we even call it?
Cost-effective way to love.
Okay, yeah. Until we find the 100% cost-effective way to love. Our love may always be under attack because there's nothing you give your spouse that somebody else cannot outgive or has not outgiven. But if I find the one thing I can give my spouse that nobody else can give them is that 100% cost-effective thing, because what is costing me is love. And the one thing I share with my spouse that nobody else shares with them is love. Somebody can give her a car, but nobody can love her like me. So when I do something that's out of love, even if it doesn't have a car, and ribbons from a car, if it came from a heart of love, it will do the work, and it will restore the flames, the butterflies, and everything that we want to see restored. Guys, one more thing I need to let you know. Many times, the enemy attacks us because we're not careful to ensure that the flame is alive. Flies only settle on cold stoves. One of the most effective ways to keep demons and evil spirits and bad people away from your relationships, because they are watching, is just keep the fire alive. Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah. We should do this more often.
Yes.
Should do this. This is real talk. I'm sure married people can relate.
Yeah.
I think the conclusion of it is you need to be intentional. You can't stop working. There's no perfect. You can't stop working. You must keep working at keeping the love flame burning.
Yeah. So let's get to work, guys. Happy Valentine's.